on Me featuring Kirk Franklin right after her big BET gospel win. And let's just say the reactions are mixed. Plus, Simon Galbadia is speaking out, saying he regrets marrying Portia Williams. Yeah, I bet. And we've got all the details. And later, we'll be back with Girlfriend's Guide and Mind, Body, and Soul. So come on in and join the discussion. You're watching, y'all know, POV. All right, Glorilla just dropped the video for Rain Down on Me featuring Kirk Franklin, Maverick City, and Kira Sheard right after winning Gospel Song of the Year at the 2025 BET Awards. The visuals are giving full church energy, crosses, choirs, altar calls, the whole vibe. Some say she's crossing into sacred spaces, while others believe she's simply spreading the word of God in her own way. So we're going to talk about it. Do you agree with Glorilla winning a gospel award? And why is she getting so much backlash just for tapping into her faith, y'all? Why is this happening?
I got so much direction that I can go in that way.
Okay.
I'm gonna just go in my personal way.
Okay, go.
Okay, so do I think that she should have won the Gospel Song of the Year? Mm-hmm. Maybe not. Mm-hmm. Maybe. But no, I'm saying like maybe not.
Maybe.
Did I enjoy the song? I did, especially with it coming from her. I actually did. And to be honest, like for people who listen to Glorilla, right? Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they did not expect that, because I didn't either. Like her having that song on there. So you never know what that song could have did for some other people. You never know, because the song is like very, very good. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, you just never know. Like, yes, she's a secular artist, correct? Yes, but you never know the seed that Kirk Franklin could have planted while he was there. You know, you just never know.
Right. You're saying she could be in transformation.
Correct. You never know.
Yeah. I'm not saying that she isn't.
It's just not reached too far now.
No, I'm not gonna say whether she is or she, because we don't know what God is doing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard for me, and I'm not judging, but I did see podcast episode where I think she was on Angela Yee's podcast. Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I mean, the fact that that's dropping or it's recirculating, I don't know if it's very, current, like if it's from this week, 2 weeks ago.
What did she say?
I can't say on TV, honey, but she was talking about all of the fun things that she's done in her life. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And yes, and all of her hoes. And, and so that kind of just threw me for a loop. But what I will say is I have not heard that song. Mm-hmm. Like Rhea's saying, I don't necessarily believe that I haven't heard the whole song, but I don't believe that she should have got Gospel Song of the Year.
Yeah.
Because when I'm looking for an uplifting song, I have not put Glorilla, Glory Hallelujah, Rain Down on Me, none of that.
Anybody
in the search,
Glorilla when they want to hear.
But you know what's so crazy,
song.
right? As a person coming from out of the world, right? Certified clubber, that used to be me. Do you know that I have actually typed in that song to hear the song, because that's the music that I just came from. Not saying that it's good or bad. That's the music that I just came from. So to hear a beat that I could like actually, jam to and get the word of God, it was perfect for a person like me who coming out of that world.
Was it the beat though, or
no?
was
the words.
Okay, yeah,
the words.
You
can actually feel. You can actually feel the words.
I'm a sinner. Oh, yeah, I heard it.
I tell you, when you leave from here, play it. You can actually
it's a nice song.
Feel what she's coming from.
Yeah, it is.
It was a beautiful gospel song.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to cut in because we have Willie Montague, because, he was here yesterday. He couldn't finish. Mm-hmm. We have him to share his opinion on this topic. So let's hear what he has to say.
I know y'all like to talk about Christians, Junie, but however, this is absolutely ridiculous. Having Glorilla get a gospel award just because she's in a video with Kirk Franklin does not make her eligible for a gospel award. It is time for some standards coming from our church leaders. And just because she thinks she can go out there with a tight dress, some stiletto heels, and twerking for Jesus does not make her eligible. It's time for the church to get it together, and it starts now.
Oh.
But the church leaders was not over the BET Awards.
I can't.
So this
disagree.
has nothing to do with the church leaders. And if he's talking about Kirk Franklin, as in like Kirk Franklin should not have have not done a song with her, I can see how some are saying that, but at the same time, like, if you don't go, first of all, Jesus walked among sinners.
Yes,
You know
but
what
that's
I'm
like
saying?
Cardi B
But he
wanna go do,
expected them
like,
to
a
change,
gospel
though.
song
He
right
expected
now.
to stay sinners.
But
now
look, that
she
doesn't
may be
mean
in
that-
transformation.
exactly,
for
you
him.
have
but
no
is it
idea.
about marketing more than anything, or is it really about transformation?
Is
It's a
it?
great. It was
Right.
great marketing because
Right.
everybody's talking about it.
Right.
So she
And Kirk
never-
is one of those higher ups.
Yeah.
Right, but not to
Into
take
marketing as well.
anything away from the lives that could be changed from this song, because just like
right.
we said, you know, I think sometimes it's easy as a believer or just as a person that's judgmental, period, for all of us in our own respects, to look at something on the outside or to forget the fact that Jesus came to save us, period. And so even though, you know, there are people that maybe Glorilla may be able to reach, that maybe Kurt Franklin, that is out of their reach. So maybe sometimes you have to have someone that's still in it. And at the end of the day, whether she transforms her life spiritually or not, we don't know whether she is there or not yet. At the end of the day, you still don't know what seed is sown and what God can do.
Okay, well, Matthew 7:16 says, by their fruits you will recognize them. Are grapes gathered from the thorn bushes or figs from thistles? So he's saying that, you know, true character will be revealed by a person's actions and the results that they produce.
But she never come on here saying, hey, I'm changed.
Just like one can identify a tree by the fruit it bears. 1 John 4:1 says, don't believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world.
Now, what I want to say to that is I feel like that is a great scripture, but I just don't know how applicable it is to this as we're talking about Glorilla, simply because she ain't never said she was no prophet
She
and she was
never
coming to
said
save
none of
nobody.
that.
She really is on the song telling her story from the position that she's in right now. And from what I did hear of the song, she's saying, Lord, I'm still a sinner. Can you do something with me? Save me. Can you use me? Whose plea is that not?
Yeah. So it's not like, that's what I'm saying. It's not like Glorilla got out here and say, hey, I should win the gospel song. She never said none of this.
I'm sure they paid somebody off, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Why they gave her that award? That's
I have
my
no
only
idea.
thing is like her first gospel song ever in her entire career, and she gets gospel song of the year.
Well, we know this stuff is bought now. We know that they couldn't give her nothing else.
Well, I
That
would
was
say,
terrible.
y'all,
She don't get no awards for her
read
actual
your
songs,
word,
but she get it
because
for the
God,
gospel song.
God will tell you what character is righteous and what character is not, and then you have to determine what falls in that. Read your word for yourself.
For sure.
So now we're going to move on to the next topic, because the ink not dry, but drama is far from over, as you know. Portia Williams and Simon Guodia are officially divorced just 15 months after saying I do. 15 months, y'all. Simon says he completely regrets marrying Portia, claiming he was targeted for his money. And now he's stuck paying, okay, y'all hear this, $40,000 a month in spousal support. Let's see what Simon got to come out his mouth and say.
Do you regret marrying her?
Absolutely. One of my text messages to her, because she didn't respond, because I kept asking her, why did you file for a divorce? And she wouldn't say anything. I tried to reach her mom. Her mom would not respond either. I later figured out this felt like a coup. She never shared her concerns or issues with me before filing for divorce. If you're married, I've been married quite a bit. I think I understand a little bit about the dynamics of
Is half of his face paralyzed?
Lord Jesus.
I couldn't see it. I didn't see
I
it.
just felt like
Well, he
wasn't
shocked
really
by that
moving
$40,000.
naturally.
He looks a little stressed and swollen, and, you know, we never know when he got
Portia milking him dry.
Messing up his face and everything.
You know,
oh my goodness.
It's sad to feel bad, because it's like at the end of the day, if Portia, like they saying that she used to come over or be around the ex-wife or whatever, if you went back and double back and you ain't have no business being sneaky, then that's what you get. But at the same time, that's nasty. If Portia really did go, you know, after him for money, like, that's just nasty too. So, but
You seen Portia?
Portia is beautiful.
Have you seen the lifestyle she lives?
Yeah, she went after money. Oh, okay, my bad, Simon. But Simon is like,
She went after money?
You knew what I just feel like you knew what you was getting into.
Yeah.
And it happened to you.
Uh-oh.
Dish it out.
But you know what? At the end of the day, I I can't say that Portia went after him for the money. I feel like Portia has, always given hopeless romantic. And I don't know if you guys remember from like earlier on in Loving, what is it? Real Housewives of, I believe if I'm quoting it correctly, that she was married at one point to a husband when the show first started and something went wrong with that or whatever. And so from that, I feel like she really was a hopeless romantic. And I'm sure that she hoped that this would be something that it didn't turn out to be. And I feel like realistically, this is what happens when people get married and you don't have a prenup or your money is not protected. Now everybody mad at Portia because she got what everybody wish they get if they was getting divorced.
No, we're mad at Portia because she stole Fallon's husband in front of her face.
Yes.
That's why we're mad at
Wait,
Portia.
what happened now?
Yes.
Tell the tea.
She stole Fallon's husband at her home.
Yes.
She went to her home and stole
Lord.
that woman's husband.
Yes.
Well, listen, I like Fallon, but I do not believe this is not no black market sex trafficking. That man wasn't stolen nowhere.
Well, you can't steal nobody if they don't want to go.
That man was ICE to take him back where he was supposed to be at.
But she probably did make some moves and say, hey, come on over here. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's just whenever you do something behind somebody's back or do it the wrong way, this is what comes out of it.
We have to wrap, y'all, but don't go anywhere when we come back. Michelle Obama says your children are not your friends. Would you agree? Girlfriend's Guide is coming back right after this. Stay tuned. You're watching POV.
What's up, social media family? Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Junior Friday Junior. And I got a question. So it's been 16 years since Michael Jackson has passed away. What is y'all's favorite Michael Jackson song?
Rock With You.
Oh, I love that song. I love
And
that
I can't believe it's been 16 years.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know.
I like Rock
almost
With
20
You.
years.
Rock With You.
Mine is I'll Be There.
Mine is Remember the Time.
Oh,
Remember the time.
yes.
Listen, you know what? I think that speaks to, the man and the talent that Michael Jackson is, was, will always be. If we can just call it out off the top of our heads. Because there are artists right now that we can't name 4 songs. For me, it would be the song where he was saying, I'm talking to the man in the mirror.
Yeah. Oh, I love that song too.
I live by that song.
Yeah.
That song holds me accountable in life, in relationship, and friendships all the time. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with that. Like, legit, talk to the man in your mirror. Stop looking at what people are doing and ask the man in your mirror to change his ways.
Yes. Oh my God.
Michael Jackson really had hits.
What? You can literally watch one of his music videos and feel the song.
Yes, but when I was young and I used to watch Thriller, it used to scare me with Michael Jackson.
No.
Yeah, that used to scare me. As a kid, I don't think I was.
We're not going to do that. So, social media family, drop down in our comments and let us know what's your favorite Michael Jackson song. And make sure you put a little green heart for the RIP. We're going to get back to the show.
And we are back. This is the part of the show where we dive into all things love, life, relationships, and everything in between. Let's get into Girlfriend's Guide. So we're going to talk about parenting styles because growing up, that parent-child relationship hits different depending on how you were raised. Some parents are big on, I'm not your little friend, I'm your parent. Respect me no matter your age. Others, they believe being your child's friend helps build trust and keep the bond strong. There's no one size fits all, but let's be real. Where do you stand? Is it respect first or relationship first?
I think 2 things can be true.
Okay.
I think you can be your child's first friend.
Okay.
And you can be a parent.
Okay.
At the same time. Now, I'm not a parent just yet. But you know, like I do want to have enough like trust built with my children so that they do feel comfortable coming to me and having, you know, conversations that they would not, you know, like trust so much to have with like friends.
Yeah.
Like they would trust in me first.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't have kids either, but I would want both a relationship with them as my friend and also a parent. But it's the same like Junie said. It have to be a respect. Like there's certain things I'm not
First.
going for. Like you're not having a potty mouth around me. You're just gonna respect me like back in the days. Like, but we're gonna be cool. It's just a respect thing because I'm your mom.
Right.
You know
I'm
what
still
saying?
your mom.
I'm still your mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very thin line. You know, I do have kids, and like with my 17-year-old, for instance, you know, lately in these recent years, we've been kind of building what seems like a friendship. And really it's more than, you know, supposed to be a safe space. But I noticed even today, like I almost had to knock that little head off. Literally because he's not understanding that I'm not his friend. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, you cannot talk to me like you talk to your friends, all that bro, and, you know what I'm saying? And questioning everything that I'm doing or what I'm telling you, or thinking that we can have that rebuttal as you would have with your friend, you know, claiming your, no, but yeah. So, I mean, I had to tap him real quick. He's like, what you did? I don't want that. I'm like, I'm tapping you so you can snap back to reality.
Right.
But I need you to know that I have the authority to
Right.
take that head off if I want to.
Yeah, I think it's a thin line because you're trying to find that balance.
Yeah.
And that balance, I think, is different for each kid, even if
Yes.
they're in the same household and being
Yes.
raised the same way. There is still a delicate balance. Michelle Obama shared her opinion on this topic and on her podcast. So let's see what she's going to say about it.
Cozy, you know, understand that your children are not your friends. You love them deeply. And if you do it right, if you set some boundaries now, give them a lot of no's with a lot of love and a lot of encouragement. But if you set really clear boundaries that you believe in and you stick to all the time, kids are just, they're waiting for you.
That's right. They need structure. They respond to it.
And they're waiting for you to go back on your word. They're waiting to see how long it will take. How many times can I outlast you?
That must be why her daughter is out here smoking cigarettes.
Oh, girl, I believe she's probably smoking cigarettes for the aesthetic. A lot of people do that these days.
That is disgusting.
Yes, it is. But that's what happened. I don't think her daughter's so stressed out from their parenting skills that she's smoking cigarettes. No.
Can't be sure.
Look out. She gonna be stressed out and they having a blast. You see Michelle Obama doing her little two-step.
Okay, she
Obama
does.
over there getting a haircut, baby. They hanging
Exactly.
out.
Them kids in the Poconos, Belize, and everywhere else, honey. The cigarettes is for the aesthetic.
It reminded me of an episode on Blackish where the little one, I can't remember, Jack and Diane. So Diane says, and it was a Christmas, and they were like not gonna do gifts for Christmas because Dad is like, y'all just don't appreciate nothing. Y'all just think you're entitled and you have all this privilege. We're not doing that. And then she's like, look, let's just be good because they're cavers. They're gonna cave. They always do. We just have to wait them out. Basically, is what she's saying. I think that's hilarious. It made me think of that. When I heard her say
that is so funny. And it is 1,000% accurate. I have a 3-year-old right now, and I can see him starting to do that. You know, so oh my God,
waiting you out.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
oh yeah. These kids know.
She
what's
gonna give
going
it to
on.
me. I just gotta wait.
Oh yeah,
I just gotta
I
wait.
just gotta get a little louder, do it a little longer, push another little button. She gonna give it because we all want a little bit of peace.
Right.
Yeah.
So being friendly for sure is blurring the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
okay.
the do as, but some people like, you know, parents are do as I say, not as I do. But some parents do things that they saying don't do. But kids respond to doing what they see.
What they see.
Listen,
Yeah.
I just had this conversation with somebody. I believe it was yesterday. It is so crazy how we have to realize that, you know, it's a real responsibility to our children, to our friends even, to show up the way that we want them to react. Because no matter how much you instill words in these kids, they are going to follow your actions. Like me, for instance, I'm not an avid water drinker, but I'm constantly telling my 8-year-old, you need to drink water, you need to drink water. But she see me drinking Coke, baby. What she want to drink? She want a Coke.
Right.
Yeah.
Seriously though.
Charlie, you got to do better.
I know.
And it's really crazy because, you know, the more I think about things like with my mom never drank, my mom never smoked. I used to never drink. I never smoked, but I used to never drink. I don't drink no more either. But for a long time, I never did none of that.
Yeah.
Every food that she told me that I didn't eat, I believed her because I only ate what she ate.
Right, that's what-
Come to find out, as I'm older and I'm trying, I like everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I literally followed her footsteps.
Yeah.
So mommies, new mommies especially, set the standard. Dad, set the standards because these kids may follow.
Yeah,
Drink
it's
the
likely they
water.
will. So do you think it's more dangerous to give so much discipline or just not enough? Too much.
I think discipline, everything has to have a good balance. Because then, we always hear about those kids that were overly disciplined. And then as soon as they're able to, they jump off the porch. That happened to me.
Yeah.
Because my mama had us on a tight reins, baby. And when I got off that porch, honey, I was outside. You hear me?
Flew off the porch.
See, my mom always worked, but it's like, you know how you just know not to play? Like, I never got a whooping before ever.
Oh,
but it's like, I just knew not to play. So it's like, I'll be 1 foot in, but I was sneaky. So by me knowing that she didn't play, I sneaked with it.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of like you gotta kind of be, you gotta meet me
had that
halfway.
balance.
Yeah, you gotta meet me halfway.
You was outside, but you was also
Inside to her eyes, but to her friends, you need to,
Oh,
but they
I
need
know.
to
You
check
get
on
her
their
check.
own kids. Stop worrying about me.
That's
Take the
hilarious.
village.
Moving on, y'all, to the next and final segment of Mind, Body, and Soul. Let's get into it. A therapist recently said that people today are emotionally fragile. Like, we can't handle discomfort, we can't handle critique, or even basic conflict without shutting down. But are we just more aware of our feelings and setting boundaries that older generations, maybe never could? Let's talk about it. I mean, have we become fragile or just finally emotionally honest?
No. Listen, I got to jump right in on this.
Okay.
one. I don't know who the therapist was, but I want to give her flowers because this is accurate to me so much, and I say it so often, and I don't want to seem insensitive. And I feel like now we are learning about more emotions, and you think it would make us more emotionally intelligent, but it just gives people more excuses. I feel like people are so fragile, and I'm so tired of hearing I'm triggered, this trauma, I'm overstimulated. Every time you hear a new word, my social battery has gone out. Like, where was the social battery before you heard about it?
So listen,
So dramatic.
I'm tired. Before.
I 10% agree with Tally, but it's not emotionally fragile. Me. I feel like that I didn't have boundaries. The whole time I thought I did, but I didn't. So now if I don't want to talk about something, it's because I don't even respect you in my face, and I know you're going to play in it, so you can't get to talk to me. So next, So it's like, so then people can say, oh, she don't ever want to talk. She was like the other boy did it. No, you're just not worth having a conversation.
And I know you're not ready, you're not going to handle it right.
That's what
But
people
there
say
are
that too.
people like you who are using it, to build emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
But most people are not doing that, and it's just another excuse, another way out. And then they're never growing to handle those conversations. Listen, baby, who sell the chargers for these emotional batteries? Where they at? Walgreens?
It's just so funny. Therapists now want to say we're emotionally fragile, but now y'all therapists is the one who taught us all this.
And the one who's
now-
benefiting.
Exactly. And now we too much now.
But do you think it's just so much privilege, so much entitlement that the moment we hear something, it's like, I just can't do it. I just can't. Because of the privilege, the entitlement. We think everything should be like laid out. It should be all good.
Everything, but I will say it's situational.
Okay.
And
Situational.
I know y'all hate when I say that word, but
yes.
most things in life are so situational. Like I feel like I agree with Tally. Like people do use it as excuses, but I also feel like I agree with Ree. Like some people do also use it as they're actually setting safe boundaries for themselves. So.
Just depends.
It's situation.
Because you look at the older generation, like you stated, and everybody then, like our mothers stuff, they're on one level. They had just always felt this way, and this is the way, and then now, at this age, you're like, no, this is not right. I do feel this way. I can say I don't want to go to the family house
Right.
because this family doesn't like me.
Right.
I can do this. You know what I'm
Destiny,
saying?
I'm not
Right.
going to the
Correct.
family's
So
house
it's
that don't like me.
now this generation here is figuring out, oh no, I can't. This is my
can
body,
say
my
no.
life. I
So
can
you're
say
like,
no.
I
I'm
can say
being
no.
attuned to my feelings,
Yeah.
and I'm going to honor
Respectfully,
them.
yeah,
Right.
respectfully,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm going to honor my feelings.
Right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's important too, but I think, you know, in the long run, for some, it will lead to some loneliness that I hope that they can handle.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, that's a wrap for today's show. Before we wrap, we'd like to leave you with a little quote. If you allow people to project their feelings onto you, you won't live. Taraji P. Henson. I understand that.
Yes, Taraji.
Yes. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you next time right here on Point of View, only on Afro TV, darling. See you again. See you tomorrow.